hopefully you don't, say important shit.
I was just describing how much I really wish that the cats had more space to have proper zoomies because I feel like they need more space to run. Connected.
Oh, good. I thought it was just me.
Nope, I guess I'm putting a disclaimer up now, I guess. Shit.
Okay.
Boom! This is really unfortunate.
Yeah, I had to refresh stream because it was
Buffering.
buffering. Yes, it was buffering.
Buffer. Jeez. It's gonna be one of those days, I think. I feel
It's
in
gonna
my
be one of those.
bones. I feel it in my buttocks.
Oh, well, feel it somewhere else. Don't feel it there.
But Jesse.
Don't.
But Jesse.
No,
Peace.
I'd rather not.
But Jesse, you have to feel the buttocks.
No, I don't.
Ooh.
Ooh? What ooh?
Whitney posted.
Oh?
Yeah.
You should maybe look at that later when
But
there's not stuff going
why?
on.
Why? I
Because
could
you get
just.
distracted.
It's a short post. I could read it in 5 minutes if I wanted to.
Girl. Later.
Tell me you're addicted to the storyline without telling me you're addicted to the
Hey.
storyline. I did realize. Okay, so listen. So I saw TikTok. Uh, this girl was talking about how when you write on Google Docs, when you write on Google Docs, the size of the document in comparison to what it would be in real life would be the size of like your normal notebook. And she said if you wanted to find out how many pages it was truly in the size of an actual book, then you change it to this size. And I was like, oh, I'm very fucking curious. So I took one of the stories that Whitney and I are writing, and I changed the size and found out. So just for context for everybody who's listening, um, the page count for one of my stories is almost at 1,400 pages as a letter size document, so an 8.5 by 11. When I put it into the size of what a book should be, which is considered the statement size, I don't know what the fuck that is. It turns out that our story then goes out to 3,207 pages. And I messaged Whitney with that page count yesterday, and then I told her, I said, this is no longer a novel, this is a fucking saga. It was like the greatest thing ever. Alright, I don't know if anybody heard that, and I'm very sorry
Hey,
if
Whitney's on.
you heard my text to my mom just said.
I did not.
Oh, okay, cool. Let me just put this on silent now. Oh, go away,
Yeah,
baby.
you better put that phone on silent.
Okay. I'm gonna have to ask you to calm down.
Nee.
Oh my god, the cats are having zoomies right now. Can't handle this shit.
Both of them now?
Um, no, I don't know where Mimi went.
Oh.
Oh shit. I was like, where the fuck did my pen go? I hid my pen from Casey because he has been stealing my pen. He took off with it last night, and I was like, the fuck do you think you're doing? I only have one of those. And then today off stream for everybody watching right now, um, I have an earpiece. That's my mic right now until I can figure out the money that I need to buy a real mic again. And I had it set up where on Discord the output audio was going through my computer rather than the headset, so I don't have to like bother with the irritation that earbuds usually give me. And I had it set right in front of me. And this motherfucker came out of nowhere, came up to give me false pseudo cuddles, took off with the earbud. I had to chase him to get my earbud back. So that was poor Jesse.
I
it
was just
was
going on a little trip.
it was great. It was funny, but at the same time I'm like, well, I guess this earbud's going in my ear right now. Anyway, Jesse, shall we get started?
Yes, let's.
All right, welcome back everybody to the panel protagonists. I'm Melly,
Yes.
and today, Jesse, you ready for this sketch that I have been bragging about for the last 45 minutes?
I'm ready. Give it to me.
Oh, what the heck? Okay, hang on. Gotta pull it up. There it is. I'm very
You,
proud of this
you were
sketch.
so ready to show it, and then you were like, oh shit, let me pull it
It
up.
was like
I'm not
black.
ready.
It was all black. Anyway, so, um, gosh. So Jesse, today is gonna
Uh-huh.
be extra fun, special things and all the things. Um,
Yeah.
sorry, I got a notification from YouTube. So not only do you have to guess the characters on the screen, and what I mean by that, you can't just give me the player's name, you have to give me the character's name.
Oh, it's not you, me, and Whitney?
It is me, you, and Whitney.
Okay.
But you have to give the character's name. So you have to give our username.
Oh, no.
Oh no. And then you have to describe what is happening in this photo.
Oh, okay.
And it might be a little difficult at first, but I can always give you a hint later.
Okay. Oh, shit. I should have been paying more attention to the picture that was on before stream.
Eh.
Because I think yours is different than your normal. You son of a.
so
All
is
right, fine.
so is Whitney's. So have fun with that.
Well, I never would have been able to guess Whitney's because the only thing I know her as is wit, and I never play games like multiplayer games with her where she's not wit. Here.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck. Okay, this is gonna
Okay.
be a bit here. Okay. So with that, I shall take it to Jesse for Jesse's breaking news.
Okay, so just two quick things that I wanted to cover today that happened over the last week, or this past week. So the first thing was there was a real quick developer direct from Xbox, and they had just 5 games that they were showcasing at this developer direct. It was about 40 minutes long or something like that. It was super short. But they did have a preview for Bethesda's upcoming Indiana Jones game. And I'm going to be honest, it looks interesting, but it is from Bethesda, so I'm going to hold my breath. It's called Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Of
And
what?
the I've also seen somebody call it the Circle of Trust, which I thought was pretty funny.
The great circle of trust.
The animation looks really good. Troy Baker is voicing Indy, and he does a fairly decent job of imitating a younger Harrison Ford.
Oh,
So
does
I'll
he?
be keeping my eyes on that one. It looks fun. It's first person, and it's it's Indiana Jones, so I'll be keeping an eye on it.
Fantastic.
they had some gameplay and like a little 7-minute spotlight for Avowed, which is the upcoming RPG from the very talented folks over at Obsidian. And this game came out as a teaser release in like 2020, maybe 2021. So we haven't seen a whole heck of a lot of it, but it looks amazing. If you guys are interested, their segment just from the developer direct is available on YouTube. And I suggest you go watch it because Obsidian are the original folks behind Fallout. And they did... Shoot, it's escaped my brain now.
How could you?
They did something else that was really good. Anyway, it looks fantastic. And it looks like it's going to be a very big RPG, kind of in the same vein as, your Skyrims or your Fallout 4s or what have you.
Your Fallout 4s, like there were multiple.
I know. Fantasy genre. Looks fun. I'm going to be keeping my eye on that one too. Outer Worlds, that's the one. Thank you, Whitney. Everyone loved Outer Worlds, and it got great reviews. There was a 10-minute segment on Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and I know that you played the first one, and you liked it, right?
Yeah, it was interesting. Made me question things about myself.
Yeah. So there's 2 trailers, I think, out now that have been released for Hellblade 2, and this was like another little spotlight for Senua's Saga. This is from the folks at Ninja Theory, and holy cow, this game looks brutal in a way that I cannot even put to other games. It just is something else. You have to go watch these 2 trailers. You don't have to go watch this little spotlight thing that was a part of the developer direct, but it's just kind of cool. There is some new footage from the game, so if you're interested, that segment is also up on YouTube. And then there was a new entry from Square Enix in the Mana series, and I was going to ask you if you had played any of the Mana games.
No, but fuck, what's my husband's name? Yes, my husband has.
Ken? So this one's called Visions of Mana. Looks pretty. Very, very long running series, Mana.
Oh yeah, so super long.
Sure, I'm sure there's tons of people interested in that one. That's not going to be one I'm picking up, but it will be very popular, I'm sure. And then the last one is a game that I have never heard of, but I'm sure I posted a trailer at some point because it's not brand new to this direct. It's a city builder called Ara History Untold. So if you're into city builders, go look this one up. It's kind of like the Civ series from a relatively new studio. They've only been in business for 8 or 9 years or something like that. Yeah, so that was it for that developer direct. Not too much going on in January, but that's to be expected. The only other bit of business that I wanted to cover, and I was kind of hoping that Bailey would be in chat because I saw her playing this earlier.
Baldur's Gate?
Pal World.
Oh, Pal World. Yeah.
Has
it's like
debuted.
taking up my entire like TikTok For You page. And
it is
nice.
all over my YouTube queue.
I was like,
all over it.
This is nice, but
But I'd like something else, please.
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah. So, very divisive game, Pal World.
Oh.
The people who are playing it absolutely love it. and I wanted to get Bailey's reaction to it to see what she thinks. And I have been watching people play it. I watched 2 people this morning play it. And I'm going to be real with you. I kind of want to get it.
Yeah.
But then there's... Good.
No, you go ahead. But then there's...
Okay. So there's other people who are so stuck in the mindset that the PALs are Pokemon ripoffs, which, to be fair, they absolutely are.
They absolutely are, yeah.
That
no
they
doubt about that.
They hate it. They hate Pal World because, the PALs are lazy Pokemon ripoffs. This game will never be popular. I'll never Yes, they are lazy Pokemon ripoffs. Nintendo hasn't done anything about it. So, this game exists. And I'm gonna be honest, it looks fun. I might pick it up. I don't know. So, here's my impression of Pal World from the gameplay that I watched this morning. Pal World looks like if you took Ark and the Forest and you smashed them together.
Oh.
And then from that game, you put Pokemon in it.
Oh my god.
That's what it looks like. The open world that you're in and the resource collecting that you do is very much reminiscent of Ark. The base building that you do is very reminiscent of both Ark and the Forest. The PALs apparently can help you build stuff. So if you've seen Sons of the Forest, kind of reminds me a little bit of the party member that you get in Sons of the Forest.
Kevin or whatever his name is?
Yeah. But then, obviously, the Pokemon element is so blatant. They all look like Pokemon. I mean, the streamers that I watched were they could not help themselves from calling them Pokemon. You catch them with balls. They're called, like, PAL balls or something. That you have to make. They are Pokemon. You're catching them with Pokeballs. We all are aware that this is a thing.
Jeez.
But yeah, so that's live in the world now. Maybe if Bailey pops in later, I'll ask her about her opinion.
Pal World. We're kind of like Pokemon, but we're not.
Definitely not Pokemon, but totally are.
Totally are. Oh dear.
Oh boy. Okay, so that's all I have for the breaking news segment. Let's just get into today's topic. We're gonna rant and rave about Palia, however the hell you.
I like the you right? Palia, Palia, tomato, potato.
However you pronounce it.
However it is.
So I was playing a little bit this morning.
Were you?
Just to kind of
reacquaint yourself with the
reacquaint myself because it's been I don't know, like 5 or 6 weeks since I last played. I played. Well, no, that can't be right because I think I played a little bit right around Christmas.
It's been 7.
So maybe it's been like 4 weeks.
Since I
anyway.
Played.
So if you guys are not familiar with Palia, it is a game that imagines itself as quote unquote a cozy MMO. And we'll get into a second what that actually means. But I just wanted to kind of briefly...
Super casual MMO.
Yeah. Yeah. Super casual.
Super fucking casual.
But briefly, what the game is essentially is a super casual open world as far as it comes anyway. Life sim? I want to call it a farm sim, but that's not right because you can choose not to farm. So I'm going to call it a life sim.
Oh.
Every day basically is the gameplay loop is you talk to your villager friends. You choose whichever way you choose to make money, whether that's farming, fishing, hunting, mining. You have your quests to complete until you run out of quests, which is where I'm at right now. You complete the game's temples, and then you complete the temple bundles that you acquire after actually completing the temples, and that's your regular gameplay loop.
God.
It's the loop is frustrating because of some things that we'll get into later. So I won't go into it right now. The Palia development team is very small. And it's grown a little bit since they started out, but it's also, I don't know how this happened, but it's also lost a couple of people since they started, and they've only been in development for like 2 years. So I don't know how I feel about that. It's not good. I know. So the development team is a team called Singularity 6, and they're Seattle based, so they're up in my neck of the woods, and they began work actually on the game in 2018, but the development didn't start until several years after that. They said they wanted to create a chill, friendly environment that everyone could experience. This is a free to play game, and they wanted to make it free to play to sort of promote that cozy feeling. The first alpha began in 2022. I don't remember exactly what month in 2022, but I think it was relatively early. I attempted to get an invite to this alpha test, but it was so friggin' yeah. It was so goddamn small that only a handful of alpha invites went out. And according to the people that I've talked to on the Discord channel that were actually there, it was buggy AF. Which is, to be fair, it was an alpha, so
yeah. I mean, the whole point of the alpha is that you get players that come in and give you feedback on the game, just in case the developers have missed something, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Yes. The second alpha invite went out a few months later. I still didn't get an invite. I was like obsessively checking my email.
And then I get a message like, check your email. Did you get an invite? And I check and I didn't get the invite.
I so wanted you to get it if I didn't. Just so one of us could test it and be like, is this any good? Should we even try? Like, is this worth the effort? But neither of us got a fucking invite, so it didn't matter. So then the beta invites go out. I think it was August. It was like the end of the summer. And
it was at the end of August.
And finally you and I get our invites.
Yep.
And
my life, apparently.
Well, it was supposed to be amazing. We'll get into why it's not. But for right now, it was supposed to be amazing.
It was supposed
beta is the current
to be amazing.
Yeah. Beta is the current state of the game. If you've never played a beta game before, you can think of it as an early access game on Steam. It's the same thing. Singularity 6 has been regularly providing updates They give dev log updates once a month, and then the actual game has been receiving updates once every. I want to say it's once every 2 weeks. They've just recently announced that they're gonna kind of slow that down a little bit in anticipation of some other things coming up. But yeah, it's been once every 2 weeks that they've been, adding new quests, new furniture, new recipes, new food, new temples, all that good stuff. Just recently they added a new villager that was fun for a second.
Oh, they added someone new. Was it anybody worth? Yes, worth it. Worth it. Worth romancing.
So, in my opinion, no, it's
Okay.
not. Her name is Subira. If you are familiar with the folks, the villagers, and kind of the backstory of Palia, she's a member of the Order. So you're kind of set up to not like her.
Oh.
And if you've done the quest line for Zeki, the Grimalkin, the cat person, or if you're romancing Reth, the cook, you're really set up to not like her. Because she comes into town looking for Zeki's underground Grimalkin black market. And so if you talk to her,
that motherfucker had a black market.
so if you talk to her, she's like, "Hey, I know this is going on in town. Will you help me infiltrate it?" And you can choose to tell her everything, or you can, if you've reached a certain point in Zeki's or Reth's questline, you can choose to be like, I'm gonna stay silent. Or I think there's a third choice to make. But I'm at a point now where she's asking me to get a job. At the actual, she wants me to get a
jobless.
She wants me to get a job at the black market and then spy on Zeki.
That's so fucking rude.
And I told her, okay. And then I went immediately to Zeki and I was like, this bitch wants me to spy on you. Because I like Zeki. He's fun. Anyway, that's the new
like,
villager.
Yo, there's a fucking spy. Don't cave in, Zeki. I need your black market goods.
Well, I do need his black market goods, actually, because it's the only way I can round out some of my furniture sets.
Oh my god.
I don't think anything bad will actually happen to, your relationships or anything with those people, but I don't know that. So I don't want to try.
Jesus Christ.
So what we're really here to discuss today is our opinions and our issues with Palia, because I have played a lot, and I have a lot of
you played too much
views on Palia. Mel has not played nearly as much as me, and she has a lot of very strong opinions on the game.
Very strong opinions.
Most of which are negative. So I thought we would, kind of discuss the different things that
okay, so
are
let me actually correct you a little bit. It's not all negative. There are some, I'm going to use that term very loosely, some good things about the game that I liked. But it's very few and far between. Anyway.
So,
it's like, yeah. I'll just discuss it as we go along.
We'll get into each one as we kind of progress. So, I mentioned that the devs have called this a cozy MMO, and because of the way in which Palia was released, there are a number of issues that I have never experienced personally with another early access game. And I don't know if you've experienced them ever before in a game or another MMO. So first, I wanted to ask you: have you ever come across this in any of the other MMOs you've played before? Because you have played not only more MMOs than me, but you've played an MMO more recently than I have.
I have.
I think so.
Oh, okay. Well, so if we're talking about the game itself and the mechanics of the game, yes, it is very unique. Which I will say at least that is like um that is the uniqueness about Palia, is that I haven't seen an MMO quite like this in the form of what an MMO actually is. You have your multiplayer, your multiplayer slice of lives out there too. So Palia isn't the only multiplayer slice of life, but it is the only one that um, caters more to like what an MMO actually is. And if you don't know exactly what I'm talking about, think of like World of Warcraft, Perfect World International, Maple Story, Maple Leaf.
Sorry.
Yeah. So if you think of it like that, then Palia is very unique to the genre of what an MMO classically is. So yeah, no, I've never experienced this type of I guess game in the way that they have created it to be. So that was very unique. I did not have hopes for it in that aspect because I know how toxic the MMO community in general is. And it doesn't matter
Mm-hmm.
what MMO you play, the community will always be fucking toxic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really sad. And I know that the developers who created Palia uh, probably hoped, very naively hoped, that this game would be different from those kinds of MMOs and they would be, you know, wouldn't be as toxic as like what your classic MMO is. But unfortunately, it did not work.
Yeah. So
But it is not
the
the fault of the devs, so
no.
much as it is just the gaming community in general, which
Yes,
is really
absolutely.
sad. Really
So
sad.
the first problem that I wanted to bring up, and is probably the worst problem that this game has, is
Oof.
largely a community created problem. And I was just talking to my stepdad about this earlier because I was trying to. I was
Sorry,
trying to.
everybody.
I don't know. It's easier to call him that. I was trying to explain what the
Yeah,
problem
people are
is to
selfish,
him.
Brittany.
And it was hard to explain to him because um, I've never had this happen in another game before. So what the problem is there is a an unwritten etiquette in this game that
Yeah,
players have created themselves. And I was around when this etiquette was getting created. And at the time, I did not think it was a problem. I actually thought it was very
that
polite. And
that
it
was your
was,
first mistake.
well, here's the thing. Early in the game, um, sorry, let me back up a step. In
Okay.
Palia, in Palia, for the resource gathering, you can gather absolutely every single resource except one by yourself. It's meant to be that way, but the developers wanted to encourage a community of um, of
Players,
cooperation.
yeah, they
They
wanted to
they
bring the
wanted
spirit.
cooperation.
They wanted to bring the spirit of cohesive connection, like social
Yeah,
connection with people, and
yeah,
it just as as nice as that is on paper, people are not nearly.
right,
It's so
right.
sad because they
So
wanted
in
to
the
make it
early,
wholesome, and it
good.
people are just not making it wholesome.
So in the alpha, in the early days of the beta, all of the mining and flow tree, which is a special type of wood, resources were spawning with very rare chances. And
I
so what
remember
the community decided to do was to, in the chat, call out every time they saw these rare spawns so that people on the map could, come to that place and we could all,
mine them
mine or
together.
chop that resource together. Everyone who takes one hit of that resource will be able to pick up whatever
Which is a
drops out of that
very amazing and wholesome words.
mechanic.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah,
But
that's
unfortunately,
that's
people.
great. However, when they tweaked the spawn rates to allow a better single player experience, with the exception of the flow trees that you still have to have more than one person to um, take down.
Very.
What was created was a situation where you have two camps of people, and yeah, Whitney, it's basically people are selfish. So, um, they have these two camps of people. One camp is a group of people who will call out literally everything all the time, and if you come around and you take that resource, even if it's not rare anymore, they will be up your ass about it. And camp number two is a group of people who see that you don't have to notify everyone on the map that, um, this resource has spawned, and you will just go up and take it. And if you get caught taking it,
Oh,
it's
Jesus.
like you have committed a cardinal sin.
You have committed
So,
crimes against Skyrim and her people.
so what's happening, especially on the Reddit,
Oh
um,
no.
is
Oh.
um, people are complaining, and that's really what it is. People are complaining um, from both sides. Either
Yeah.
people are complaining that players are, just taking.
Stop! You have violated the law. It's been a long time since I've had a good draw.
People are complaining. Either they're taking all the resources, and you shouldn't be doing that. You're supposed to be waiting for people,
You're
or you're
supposed to be
supposed
an
to be calling.
upstanding citizen. What are
Right.
you
Yeah. And
doing?
and then you have the other people who are basically complaining about people who are harassing them in the server.
Oh.
Um, and I have seen this happen, and really the only way to get around that is to block people who do that to you.
Yeah.
Um, blocking
There's
people in the chat, once you leave that server, you'll never get on a server with that person again. So you can kind of sort of curate
yeah.
who
Oh
you'll populate in a
yeah.
server with, but unfortunately there's an awful lot of people doing this right now. So it's hard to get away from that. It's also become a problem I've noticed with the new flow tree groves. Now I know you haven't seen the flow tree groves because it's newer and you haven't played since they've
Since like
implemented them. So
yeah.
the flow tree groves only populate at midnight, and they only stay until about 3 or 4 a.m., something like that.
Wait, in game time or real life?
Yes,
Okay.
in game time.
Okay.
So they populate with 2 to 7 or 8 trees, and what was happening at the beginning was somebody would spot it, would call it out in chat, and then literally everyone in the server would run over, and you would wait until every single body on that server was there. And I waited sometimes until 3 o'clock in the morning in game time to take all those things down, because it was an awful lot of a very rare resource that you could get. But what I'm hearing now from some people is that when those groves are populating, people are encountering folks who are farming them in groups. And it's an acceptable practice to farm flow trees, but not the groves themselves. And I hate that this is a thing, because the groves are timed and the regular flow trees aren't. But there are players who are going out there in like groups, small groups, not saying anything to anybody else on the server, and just taking everything that populates in that grove. So yeah.
Excuse me, groves?
Yeah, groves. So that's the worst issue that is currently plaguing Palia. And I don't know if there's anything that the devs can do about it, to be honest with you.
No, it's a people issue, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, the dev log. Good.
There could be some like games, but then some developmental things they could. Hang on. There are some developmental things that they could do to police it, but then you lose player base once you start controlling that kind of thing, and you lose the magic of the original game, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you would lose part of what you wanted to have in your game from the start. And I was trying to figure out a way, like, could they tweak the spawn rates? No. Could they make it so that you can farm every resource by yourself? No, because that wouldn't really solve the issue either. They just put out a January devlog, and it does mention that in not the next update, but the one after that, they've got some sort of unnamed, unexplained community update that they want to implement. So I don't know what that means. So I guess we'll see what happens with
it's really gonna suck, because when you think about it, Whitney is right. Unless they put in a mechanic in which it prevents that kind of behaviors, there's like nothing you can do about it as a developer without losing that kind of player base. Because like I said, if you cannot interfere with like that kind of thing, because then it takes away from the magic of the game itself, and then you're doing more of a policing development than you are just developing the game into like better mechanics and better features, and you're spending all your time just policing people instead. It is not fun, and I've seen it happen in MMOs, and it really sucks when developers decide that there's just so much toxic shit happening in their game that they're forced to put out mechanics that police people. And uh, just I've had to quit MMOs because of this reason.
Well, I've seen people that are quitting this game because it's happening, and I really hate that people are experiencing this, because in my experience, that's not been the case. And I think it is a vocal minority that are doing this, but they are quite vocal.
Yeah.
And, maybe it is a regional thing. Maybe it's affecting more, this region over that region. I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But
And that's
I've not had it happen a whole heck of a lot. I've had it happen, but not a lot.
yeah. And it's
Yeah.
hard. You
Yeah.
can't just you mm. There's a lot
So
of people in the world, dude. Like there's just no way to be
there
able
sure are.
to no way where
So
you can do that.
so the other issue that is community based
Oh no.
uh,
There's
that has come
multiple?
up, yeah, and it's come up more, or I should say it's come up again, is the beta status of the game itself is causing problems.
Oh.
So
Wait, that's a
so I don't
community thing and not a developmental thing?
yeah, so let me
Okay,
explain.
okay.
Back when the game was not receiving as many updates as it started to receive, let's say August. Well, no, because that's when it released. Let's
I
say
was looking at
October.
Whitney wanting to go check out the Palia Discord server.
Oh, it's depending on which channel you pick, it's a disaster. Let's say October, when
Okay.
the Meiji market came out.
Oh, the fun thing that we did that one stream where we were chasing like oh, what were we chasing?
We were chasing the Choppa.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I was really
and
bad
we
at
took
game,
that
by the way.
picture from the beginning of stream.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, it's all coming back to me.
So back in the early days of the beta test, I saw a few people, and then it became more people complaining about bugs in the game, and then they were complaining about
But
quests. There weren't enough quests, and then they were complaining about there's not enough storage, and then they were complaining about there's my house is all done. Why can't I make more? And then they were complaining about when is the next area getting added, and then they were complaining about this and that and the other
oh
thing.
my
And
god!
and these people were complaining because they consumed the game at an incredibly rapid pace.
So okay, so I
And
will say that
good.
you're right. That it's
Yeah.
not a developmental issue.
So
Fucking
okay.
people issue.
But here's the thing. Here's the argument.
Okay.
There were people defending the game using the excuse of it's just in beta. And there were
Oh.
some people who were making legitimate complaints against the game, mostly about the bugs, but people were still defending the game because, and I quote, it's in beta.
Oh my
And
god,
so
guys, stop complaining. The game is still in beta. Give them
exactly,
a chance.
exactly. So there were a lot of, actual arguments happening because there were, players who were just bringing up legit issues, and they couldn't, they couldn't feel like they were being heard.
Well, it's kind of hard to be heard when people are like fucking down your throat about it.
Right, because it's a beta.
Oh yeah.
So that was the community again, just being a little too
Yes.
I don't even know what the word would be for it. A little too defensive
Yeah.
about this game, and not, being willing to accept the fact, I guess, that there are still bugs to work out. And there were people that were just making, rightful, sharing their actual thoughts,
Like
making
actual
actual,
feedback.
yeah,
And they were getting bashed for it. Mm.
Yeah, and I'm sure, some of these people did go back to the forum that Singularity 6 put up, and they actually submitted these issues, the
Like
proper
properly,
way.
yeah.
Yeah. Because a lot of these, but it just, for a long time, especially on the Discord server, it was nothing but, this is broken, that is broken, I'm stuck here, this is a bug. It's just in beta. It's awful.
Like, you guys need to calm down.
Yeah.
You're making too much noise.
And
Give the
so
developers a chance.
it's come up again recently because the game has released
Oh,
for the
goodness.
Switch.
Oh, yeah, I got that email.
Yeah, so I actually downloaded it for my Switch, and I played it for about 10 minutes.
Oh, no, that's all it took?
Which is all I could take. It is not well optimized for my PC, you guys. So when I say that it's not very well optimized for the Switch, it's hard to play this game on the Switch. And for a game, for a game that's supposed to be so based on you being cooperative with the other 24 random people on your
24 random people. Oh, goodness.
the server only the zone on your particular server only holds 25 people total. So the people that you're on the map with, you're supposed to be cooperative, and if
You're
you can't
supposed to be
open your chat and type fast enough on the Switch, which has caused a lot of problems. And there's a whole host of, all the controls do not feel intuitive on the Switch. So you can tell when you're playing it on PC, that person's a Switch player. That person's a Switch player.
Oh, no.
If there's a grove, you have to wait longer because those Switch players cannot type in chat. I'm on my way. They'll just show up. It's hard. And I feel bad for those players who are only playing on the Switch because that's their only mode of gameplay.
It feels like another case of we need to get this game out as soon as we can scenario that I see often with game development studios. And it's like, you guys need to take time to finesse your product so that it works at the optimal settings for different consoles and systems.
Mhm.
But reduce the zone limit more. Interesting aspect. Bethesda, is that you?
I don't know if that would do anything because there would still be people there. Here's the thing: the spawning is not the issue. There's plenty of resources out there, but there's an awful lot of new players right now who don't understand the refresh mechanic for those spawning resources.
I can't imagine that they would.
Well, and there, to be fair, there's an awful lot of older players that don't properly understand the refresh mechanic for those spawning. Yeah, and so what they'll do is these players who have been around for a while, they'll be complaining that there's no
people.
For instance, Palium, which is the blue stuff. There's no Palium spawning anymore.
The epic or
so what they fail to understand, I think, in some cases at least, is that if you don't go around and clear an area of all the spawnable spots nothing is ever going to respawn there because all the spawnable spots are taken up by the other two, things that can spawn in those places. So they'll just be waiting around for, this ore to spawn.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they expect it to just pop up magically. No, you gotta clear it out.
Yeah.
So anytime I'm running through those places, I just clear it out.
Oh.
So that other people can come by and grab their shit. Stop complaining.
Nice. Look at you.
Well, I mean, you can.
Citizen of Palia.
I make stuff with it and then I sell it, and I'm making money that way.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every time I think I have exactly what I want to talk about, then you bring up something else, and I'm suddenly like thrown back into like different things I hate about Palia.
So the last problem that I wanted to talk about, and then I know you have more, has actually been updated since I put it to these notes. I know. So I was going to mention that there is a ping problem with Palia. And if you don't know what that means, it means that if you are a non-local player, let's say you're overseas and you want to play this game, your connection is not good. So you'll have an input lag from what you're doing on your client side to what happens on the game side, which a lot of people were having trouble with in the game that we were just talking about, the Choppa Chase during the Meiji Market, because a lot of foreign players were, they would click on their screen to catch the Choppa, but it would happen like 2 or 3 seconds later, and it wouldn't register that they had actually. Yeah. So that issue was arising because up until very recently, the servers were only US based. They were only here in the Pacific Northwest, and the devs just announced again in the January devlog that Europe and Asia Pacific servers have been added. So they've been hard at work at getting more availability to foreign players. I don't think that's going to completely solve the issue, but it's an improvement, hopefully.
Oh my god.
So that's all mine out of the way.
Oh
how many do you want to bring up?
Alright, hold on. Let me just complete this real quick because it's going to take me a hot minute to go over the shit that I...
Oh, and I had a question for you.
Yes?
About our characters.
Yes?
Was your character like a color? Or was Whitney's character a color?
Explain. I do not know what you mean.
Was one of your names a color?
Mine was not. I'd have to look through Whitney's again.
Okay.
Whitney, was your name a color? That's the quickest.
I'm not going to remember the color, I don't think, but...
Mine definitely was not.
Meh.
So have fun with that information.
I don't remember your name at all.
Do what you will with that information.
Nope. It was?
Okay.
Whitney's
was. Oh, this is great. For me. Not for you. Because you're obviously dying over there.
Yeah, I don't remember y'all's names, like, at all.
I'm so disappointed. I can give you the meaning of my name.
The meaning of your name. I don't know if that will help, but go for it.
It is Greek for healer.
Can I Google it?
You can Google it at the end of stream.
Okay. Gosh, Latin for healer would have been easier.
Nope. Gotta go Greek.
Dang. Okay. All right. So you have a lot of gripes with Palia.
I have things to say. First off. So I joined. I'm not big into the like slice of life MMOs. Casey, dear, Casey, go, go, go. Mama's talking to. Come here. Okay. Um, he needs the cuddles. Um, so I'm not big into the whole slice of life MMO like simplistic. Gather some materials, build your house, do some farming. I say as I play Stardew Valley very religiously. But when the beta came out, I was super excited because I thought there was some potential. I really, really enjoy the artwork. Really enjoy the art very, very much. It caters to my aesthetic, which is why I was really excited about this game. And when I looked at this game, it had the potential to be something great. It had the potential to be a really, really good game. And then I started playing it. At first, I was really excited. I was pretty hooked in the beginning. I made my character, was pretty happy with my character, based my character off of things, and it just kind of went with, went. Yes, I just went with it. But there were bugs. There were a ton of bugs, and they were frustrating. But I don't, like I never. This was the first time I've ever played uh, a beta. I've never played a beta before this, so it was an interesting experience. And there were times where I was like, I do want to contact the devs and let them know there was a bug here, there was a bug there, and I was like, maybe they'll just fix it, and I don't have to worry about it. And that was just the mindset that I had. But then it was like quests were getting bugged, and I couldn't turn in quests. And then I'd have to fight people for ore, which is something I didn't want to do. And yes, Palia had a mechanic in which if you hit the target or the wood at least once, you would get the materials no matter who finished the mining, which is what we used to do when we all played together. But then people would just come in and steal everything, and it just wasn't fun anymore. It was a competition for resources, and I wasn't about that fucking game. And people would hog resources and just swoop in after you with these things. And then the quests were pretty mundane. They were like, I'm used to having my fetch quests. I'm used to having fetch quests because that is how MMOs function.
Yeah, that's the bread and butter of an MMO.
That is the bread and butter of an MMO. But the fetch quest felt mundane. It felt boring. There was no life to the fetch quests. Like in MMOs I've played, there was some life in the fetch quests. There were rewards that meant something in the fetch quests in MMOs, and it lacked that in Palia. And there was a lot of lag. Especially when you were trying to get in and out of your home, there was so much fucking lag, and I was just like, God, it was difficult to enjoy the game when I had to sit there and wait for, I don't know, up to 100 people load in before I could load in. And I was just like, this is ridiculous. This is a tad ridiculous. My cats are going crazy, you guys. Oh my god, split it up! What the fuck are you doing?
So some of those things have been fixed since you've played. And
Okay,
I
that's
completely
nice.
agree with you that for a time, a lot of those things did make the game virtually unplayable. I'm right there with you with the lag. I experienced that multiple times, coming and leaving my house, and my game would crash on top of it.
Oh god,
Like,
the amount of
a
times the game has
lot.
crashed. The amount of
Yeah.
times the game has
Yeah.
crashed on me is just, why am I even playing this game?
I know. So for a time, I did have to just like put it down, and let that issue be fixed
And this
because
is more of an issue with me, but I'm actually pretty bored with the mechanics of this game. Like, there's
well,
just no.
I don't think it's just you, because they're kind of
Like, even the storyline is bland. Like, and I hate to say that, but it is. It's bland. I just. Thoughts, feelings,
yeah. So
sorrows,
I think
prayers.
from what Whitney said earlier, the story feels incomplete.
Oh, yeah,
Because it
absolutely.
is incomplete. A lot of things are incomplete. And not to kind of go back to what I was saying earlier, but it is an early access game. So that's to be expected.
Quote,
I know.
early access. We're going to use that very loosely with all of this stuff they have been doing recently.
The fact of the matter is that once you reach the end, for now, you are at the end. That's why I put it down for 4 weeks, because I was like, there's nothing more for me to do. And that is kind of my primary concern with Palia right now, is that even once they do finish the game, they finish the storyline, all the temples are built, um,
No.
you know,
There,
all
as an
that stuff is
MMO,
done.
I'm going to
That
disagree. I'm going
No,
to.
no, no. What I'm
Oh,
going to say
oh,
is my fear is there won't be enough there to
ah.
keep people playing.
Yeah. So as
Um,
an MMO, and I don't know if the developers had considered this when they decided they wanted to make an MMO, and it kind of gives me the feeling that they didn't, is that as an MMO, you have to continuously create new storylines and plots and quests and rewards and because it is a continuous thing. It is not a what do they call that? A streamlined game. It's not like your heavy story based games like any of the Tales games would be a great example. Pokemon is a great example where you have a streamline. It is a continuous project. It never goes away. And it's just not supposed to as an MMO because the thing is that you want your players to continuously play day after day and still feel like there's stuff to be offered by it. And I think they completely missed that mark. And it's so sad because there was so much potential with such an original idea that they had as an MMO. And it, between the community and the rushing of the development, because this is what is happening, they're rushing the development. That's why it's on the Switch right now. That's why they have more international servers. It's because they're rushing the development way too fast, faster than they can make development for the game itself. And that's, listen, you guys are not going to fight on the desk. You're going to take your fight off of the desk. Don't you grab that. There you go. Now fight down there. Um, and that's my major gripe with this game is that they're rushing through it like a lot of other game developers are because they're trying to get the sales or the ratings or the player count. Like, but you can't do that with an MMO. You lose interest and people and
you can't do that with any game. You shouldn't do that
yeah,
with any game.
get off of my chair. I'm trying to have a passionate conversation.
I'm trying to wax poetical.
But you're right, it should not happen with any game. But I'm saying as an MMO, it should especially not be with an MMO. And they missed a lot of marks, I think. And it's super
Yeah, I
disappointing
don't
with
know
how.
if Good.
It was such a disappointment with how much potential this game actually had.
I don't know if they were really trying to build an MMO. That's the feeling that I get. I
Oh.
think I think what they really wanted to build was a single player game with co-op. That's how it
Mm.
feels. Um
I want to know
if
what changed that mindset.
well, I mean, they've here's the thing, they've never said that, but that's how it feels to me.
Yeah,
That's how the game feels to me. It's a single player game with co-op. It just
yeah.
happens to be random co-op online.
Oh my gosh.
But you absolutely don't have to play
Yeah,
with other people, and that's the thing. Except for that one resource, you can play this game completely on your own. And that's what makes this unique to the MMO genre. That's why I don't want to call it an MMO, because you don't have to interact with a soul. You can
we
do it
are
all on
just
your own.
mindless souls.
Yeah, you can do it all on your own. There's an occasional quest where you are forced to go get some of that one resource that you need help to get. But other than that, that's it. You can do it on your own. You don't have to play it as an MMO.
And that,
And
yeah,
really,
that's definitely different from what an MMO actually is. Because the
right,
whole point of an
right.
MMO is the,
Play together.
yeah,
Yeah.
community play together.
So that's really what I think they wanted to build, and their development was flawed.
It could also be
That's
that it could also be whoever is sponsoring them or whoever is giving them funds and like investing in that game that is forcing them to I don't know how to word this. That is just
You think somebody else is behind the decision?
I think there's a lot of heavy financial decisions being made um
I mean,
that is
maybe, but
influencing.
since this one is a free to play, and the only monetization so far has been um the cosmetic store and the actual IRL, um like I think they're plushies that you can buy.
You can buy plushies. You can get
Yeah, there's a
a
Choppa plushie now that you can buy.
oh my god, that changes everything.
um I just don't know how. I mean, I suppose you can always make everything about money, but um I just don't see it right now. But I
Mm,
suppose if they did some kind of um yeah, I don't know. It's
yeah,
possible.
it's hard because you're right. As a free MMO and not right now, a pay to win kind of game, which is also different. That's nice, by the way. Um, it's hard. It's hard to
Yeah.
quantify that and figure out where the problem actually lies. That's not just community based. Because let's face it, the community has its own problems in any MMO or any multiplayer online game that you come across.
Yep.
But when does that become less of a community problem and more of a development problem? And
That's a good question.
sometimes it's not as black and white as we would like it to be. It's
Oh
there's
yeah, no,
no
this
right
is
answer to it.
this is not a black and white. None of these are black and white issues except for maybe the bugs. Those I think are an inexperienced team still learning how to um, develop this game, but everything else is yeah problems they have to learn how to solve.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, like Mel said, we were both very optimistic about this game at the beginning. When we saw the first trailer, we were both super duper excited. And then we got our invites and we got in, and problems started to develop pretty quick. I'm hopeful that they can turn it around because
Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
in general, I enjoy this game, but I do get bored with it pretty quick. I think I only played for about 30 minutes this morning, and then I was like, yeah, that's it, I'm done. So,
so much potential, and it's just
yeah.
I
Yeah.
really
So,
wish there was an easy answer to the developers' problems, but I just feel like there's a force happening that we're not seeing when it comes to the development of this game. And
yeah, maybe so.
yeah.
You could be right.
Yeah.
You could be right. I suppose time will show us if that is the case. I really hope that's not the problem, but yeah, we'll
Same.
see. Yeah.
It's hard to determine that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there is a point where it might not be hard, but for now, we just don't know. So.
Yep.
Well, that's all I got for this week's stream. Do you have anything else you want to add about Palia? Fuck, I don't know.
No, but it's probably a game I'm not gonna come back to be honest with you.
Yeah. I'm gonna continue to play. Yeah, I'm gonna keep playing, but I'm probably gonna take a lot more breaks. And since they've said they're gonna slow down their updates, I'm probably gonna take longer breaks
really?
too. Yeah.
Oh, that's a disappointment.
Is it?
No. Yeah.
Is it?
It's a little bit.
You really want me to tell you nothing happened in Palia, but I'm continuing to play?
No, but no, what you said about how they were gonna take
Oh,
slower with
so
development.
yeah, so what they said actually was instead of doing updates twice a month, they're gonna do it once a month. And like at the end of the month. Just to kind of slow down. I think they were having problems keeping up with twice a month.
They have a small staff. They're short-staffed.
Well, it was pretty evident if you were playing because they would introduce an update and everything would break.
Oh no!
So yeah, so they would update something and then have to take the servers down, or the servers would crash and it would
Oh my gosh! But yeah, that was another thing I really hated was the server crashing.
You weren't the only one, so I think scaling back their update schedule is a good thing.
Yeah.
So
still a disappointment.
Yeah. It's okay though.
So much.
In the end, I think it'll be good for the game and for them. Get a little.
If nothing else, it's experience to to how hard it is to develop a game in general.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just.
Yep. This was their first game too, so.
Was it?
Yes, this was their very first game. So, maybe they were in over their heads.
I mean,
and maybe we'll get better.
It happens to the best of us. We get a grand idea. I mean, I'm a prime example of that. Maybe you can testify to this kind of thing in my brain. But I get so excited about a new idea and this and that and the other thing, and then I get in way over my head, and it's a human thing to do. Especially if you're a very creative kind of person. It is very, very easy to get in over your head over ideas that you have that you want to bring to the table, and yeah, it's life. So fortunately, we have to go through that to understand like a little bit more about ourselves. So I really hope that the development team understands uh some I don't know what I wanted to say. I
Yep,
was
it's
I
okay.
was like some motivational words, more motivational words, more motivational words, and the stream.
That thought that I had in my brain, I can't get it out now.
What is thoughts? What is thoughts? What
It'll
are
come to you at
thoughts?
3 a.m.
I'll be like messaging everybody on Discord like, you guys, I remember what I wanted to say for stream. And they're just like, Mel, that was 5 days ago. I'm like, I
Five
know,
days
but
ago.
you gotta hear me out.
I'll be like, I don't remember what you were saying.
Just like, Mel, I want to go to sleep. No, you must listen. You must listen to what I say.
Yep. So, I don't remember either of your characters' names.
Okay, okay, it is the end of stream now, and I'm very, very excited about the pose. The well, the poses and the because I'll have to also explain what the fuck is happening in this in these poses so that you can understand.
We were going somewhere.
Yep, we all have pickaxes.
Was I leading you on my 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 Palium route?
So we're all heading because it brings back to one of the issues that we brought up early in the game, whereas the rare raw. Um, there it is, violent Duran.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
was never gonna remember that.
um, we're all on our way to a rare resource that was called out in World Chat. That's why we're all running with pickaxes in their iron mining gear. Hell yeah! All right, so yeah, um, mine was Althea Serene.
I was never gonna remember that either.
Nope, you sure weren't. And then I just remember yours, which I won't say because it's like your real name and then like a play on words as your in-game
Yep,
last name.
yep, I got a little creative.
It was very fun. So, yep. Yeah, if I got to color it, it would have made sense. If I added the background, it would have made sense. But this is gonna
I
be a
may
long piece.
still, I maybe would have guessed it eventually, but I might have had to ask you like, "What's your favorite color?" or something.
I don't know what.
Anyway,
Anyway, yeah, yep.
so that's the end of stream, guys. Thanks for coming out and hanging with us while we um, get our issues out about Palia. If you are watching right now, or you come back to this and you watch it as a VOD, I just wanted to say that this is my last stream for a little bit. I'm not going away forever, but I will be gone probably until March. I'm just having a little medical procedure. So
Little
I'm going to
medical
have
procedure.
um, Mel and Whitney pick up um, for me for February. Yes, Bailey, I have a question for you. Hang on. And then I'll be back hopefully for March. So these two wonderful ladies will take the reins for the last week of January and then all of February.
Oh,
And I will
actually,
be back in March.
so
Oh, sorry, half of February. Melly's going places.
oh yeah. So first off, I have agreed with Whitney that next Saturday we will not be streaming. We
Okay.
have a couple of brand new items about to debut in our next convention, which is in 2 weeks, and I'm very excited. Whitney is also very excited. I cannot wait to show you guys this brand new item coming to our table. And I don't want to ruin the surprise, so I'm not gonna say anything about it. But get hyped. And come find us. So Winnie and I are taking next weekend off so that we can fully prepare for everything. Because I plan on having like a rebrand of the table design and display, and there might actually be a rebrand of the company name as well. Because I don't do comics anymore. If anybody has been with me since like the dawn of time, since 2009, you guys probably would have remembered when I did a little slice of life comic called Mel's Log. And so that's what the business name was. It was Mel's Log Comics. But I don't have a comic anymore. So I'm going to rebrand and slice off the comics portion of the business name into a rebrand. So, yeah.
Le gasp.
So the display table will be different. At least I hope. We're going to be experimenting with it next weekend. So that's why we're not going to be streaming next weekend. And then the following weekend is Anime Gaming Expo in Fresno. So if you are in Fresno, California, come to the Fresno Fairgrounds, the big Fresno Fairgrounds, and come look for Whitney and I. There are a couple of really good voice actors coming. So it's going to be a little crowded, I think, because they're really popular voice actors. And there's going to be a lot of good vendors out there. I know a couple of really, really good vendors who are going to be out there. So yeah, definitely, if you're in the area, definitely come check it out. It's a really nice convention. It's very well organized, and the people are super friendly. So that will be happening in 2 weeks. And then Winnie and I will be taking over streaming in February, but it will only be once or twice, I think, in February because I have another convention at the end of February. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty spotchy when it comes to our streaming, but stay tuned and come follow us on Discord at the Panel Protagonist Discord server to kind of catch up on everything Panel Protagonist related, as well as interactive chats and live doodle times, which I do live art streams in which we can all have a conversation and hang out, do some funky shenanigans. Watch parties are hit and miss right now. Right now, it's under construction.
Yeah,
So
I
that's why I
hate that it is under construction, but apparently Crunchyroll wants to be a little bitch and I can't stream to Discord right now, so yeah.
So watch parties under construction, and then we have game nights as well. But unfortunately, next game night we won't be having because I won't be home.
And I won't be home either.
So there won't be a game night next week, but there will definitely be doodle time, at least at the very least on Tuesday. So definitely join me for that. And then if that's not your game, you don't want to join the Discord server, come follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Melslog, and then you'll get like other random shit like my random other pieces of artwork, like my Sith Cheeto. If nobody knows what my Sith Cheeto is, it's on it's it's on Facebook and Instagram, but it's also in the Discord server.
It's amazing. And you guys, I'm gonna talk Mel into putting the Sith Cheeto elsewhere.
Oh dear.
As a little Easter egg thing.
Oh my. Heck yeah. All right. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. Thank you for coming. Always appreciate the people who come to streams. And we
Yep.
will see you in a
So,
couple of
hang
weeks.
on.
Oh,
Before
oh,
we go,
oh.
Bailey, are you still in chat? I have a question for you.
On
I hope
chat.
she's
On chat.
still here. If she's not, I'll just hit her up on Discord later. Did she leave? Man. Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, she's here. Okay. You were playing Paul World earlier, and I must know what your early thoughts are. I've watched a couple people play it, and I'm intrigued. I don't know if I want to go get it just yet, but um, I want to know what you think. Is it Pokemon? You don't know yet. Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
But what was your initial reaction when you started playing?
Mostly I've just seen people do the tutorial bit, and the farthest I think I've seen anyone get is just collecting like 2 or 3 pals. Pals. It's like Palia. I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Pal World? I don't know. It's Palia plus
Oh,
Pokemon. Okay.
that's a terrible description with all the shit you've been talking about Palia this entire stream.
I don't know if you were here earlier in stream. Yeah, a more cartoony arc. I've heard it described, and I described it myself as arc plus the forest plus Pokemon
With guns.
with guns. Well, that's arc. That's the arc part.
Yeah, that's true. That is
Yeah,
definitely
you'll have to keep us updated on what you think, and because I want to know if it's worth it for me to get yet another game to add to my pile of shame that I'll
my
probably never finish.
I have to ask him if I can download it to his laptop so I can play it. Because he's got it downloaded on Steam. I
He
don't know if he's
does?
played it yet. I don't know if he's played it yet. But he
Oh.
had it downloaded yesterday.
Oh.
Oh no, I
Okay.
know he's played it. I watched him last night. Yeah, he started playing yesterday, but I'd have to actually ask him about his opinions.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Yeah, we'll have to ask. So we've got 2 people on the Discord server who have played. Okay. Interesting. It has a 10% discount already?
It's very
That's not good.
That's not good at all. Anyway, thank you all for coming. And we will see you not next weekend or the weekend after, but the second weekend in February. Follow us on Discord and on Instagram and Facebook to determine like updates of where Whitney and I will be at the convention, as well as other panel protagonist updates that do not get shown here on VODs and videos and things because I forget like damn old lady that I am. So yeah, you ready with Jesse? I almost got you, Whitney. Are you ready, Jesse?
Golly. Yes, I'm ready.
Panel protagonists out. Bye.
Bye.